I'm offering this statement because a strange kind of political bullying has crept into the media and some public figures. If you don't repeat the approved script about Iran, you get accused of being pro regime, anti woman, or morally compromised. I'm speaking now to defend a principled position that many anti war, pro Palestine, and civil liberties activists actually share. We can stand with Iranians' right to protest and demand greater democracy while also opposing sanctions, covert interference, and the cynical weaponization of a human rights language by the same powers that have destroyed societies across the region, committed and still is committing genocide, killing children tonight as we speak in Sudan, Libya, Palestine, and Lebanon. Iranians have the right to protest. They have the right to demand reform, accountability, and even regime change if they want. And we should never romanticize repression. People deserve dignity, due process, and real political choice. But many of us on the anti-war left, the Green Movement, and the Palestine Solidarity space take a cautious stance toward Iranian protest movements for one reason. We've watched this foreign concern get weaponized into sanctions, sabotage, and war. Destruction. Iran has faced an unusually heavy sanctions regime for decades, starting with the 1979 asset freeze and expanding into sweeping economic restrictions, almost economic terrorism practiced on Iran. Those pressures don't only hit officials, they hit the public. Currency instability, inflation, shortages, and a slow grinding down of daily life. That's not my opinion. The UN human rights system has warned that unilateral sanctions and over-compliance can threaten human rights. So when protests erupt amid economic collapse, we can recognize real grievances and acknowledge that economic warfare magnifies suffering and can inflame instability. We're also careful because the regime change playbook in the region is not theoretical. Iraq and Libya were sold as liberation. They became tragedies. That's why we reject foreign intervention and covert manipulation, even when it's wrapped in the language of human rights. But it's not anymore. They are so public in pronouncing their covert operations. Mossad working overtime as it has been stated by high officials. On the ground, protests can be both courageous and chaotic. Credible reporting shows large death tolls and serious allegations of excessive force, while also indicating security personnel have been killed, over 500 security personnel, meaning that the situation is not a clean black and white morality cartoon. On the nuclear and diplomacy front, many Greens supported the JCPOA because it reduced war risk through inspections and agreements. The U.S. Green Party condemned the U.S. withdrawal and has supported eliminating sanctions and normalizing relations. Professor Jeffrey Sachs, one of the top experts on foreign relations and international politics in the United States, a voice of reason and balance, has warned repeatedly that U.S. anti-Iran escalation dynamics are dangerous and can lead to catastrophic conflict. So the balanced position is this. We stand with the Iranian people's right to protest and self-determination, as we stand with all the people on earth. We condemn repression and demand protection of life and civil liberties. We oppose sanctions that collectively punish civilians. We reject foreign regime change operations and war. We condemn the CIA and Mossad operation in Iran. We condemn the U.S. sanctions and every country that stands or supports the U.S. sanctions, as much as we condemn every repressive policies or actions that are taken by the Iranian government. We support diplomacy. We support de-escalation and a future where Iranians, not empires, decide Iran. That's not neutrality. That's refusing to be drafted into somebody else's conquest narrative. Thank you.